Hello, everyone, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Welcome to another edition of Easy Rock Plugged In. Once again, this is your self-proclaimed Radio Bay. My name is Nick, and I'm very happy, with the Bay in it. Get to interview one of the Bays. The only Bay that we have as an artist right now. She's looking very fresh. I've been listening to her music earlier today, and I found it very fresh again and refreshing as well. So, ladies and gents, please welcome Bay.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to finally be here. It took three songs for me to be interviewed by you. So.
Oh, thank you so much, of course, for being here. Are you based in LA right now, by the way?
Yes, I'm based in LA.
I see. And how is everything in your area?
Everything's okay. I mean, for the most part, there is a surge. I mean, everywhere you go, but especially here, it's better to be safe than sorry. A lot of people are getting Omicron, so.
That's right. So you've been making your music in your room?
I've been making my music in my garage, actually.
In your garage?
Yeah,
okay.
My garage. When the pandemic started. Actually, I had signed with UR when it was already peak pandemic. So yeah. I was able to, make music in my garage because of that.
That was amazing. And before you signed into UR, were you able to produce a lot of music before then?
I actually would do some dabbling with my kuya, with my eldest brother, because he also really loves music and music production as well. So I loved playing with GarageBand, and I would upload secret files on SoundCloud. I had an A-Team cover on there when I was younger that I don't know where it is. It probably dissipated into thin air, but my brother and I did that a lot, and we still do that. So.
Right. So can you kindly walk us through, your journey as an artist? Because I know, I would say that you're still fresh, right, in the game.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like I just started doing this, but it's been a year, I think. I debuted last January, which is crazy that it's been over a year. Oh, hasn't been over a year. Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Crash Landing came out. And it was crazy. I mean, especially since it was during the pandemic and a lot of the things had to be done. Every interview performance had to be done over Zoom, basically on online platforms. I didn't really get the experience that other artists had. I actually had my first live gig last December. I was actually a special guest for Gracenote. I'm very thankful that they gave me that opportunity to join them when I was back in the Philippines before Christmas. But other than that, I still feel like a new artist just because, I haven't been through what other artists go through or what I see, at least when you see on the TV and, when you hear about the entertainment industry in general. So it doesn't feel real.
Well, I'm sure you'll go through all of that, once the pandemic is over and things are better. But has it been treating you well? Has the pandemic affected your artistry and the music that you make in any type of way?
No, I mean, I've been writing songs or, writing my feelings down in my notes, which, I would
That's
make
nice.
music for a really long time. So even before I was signed with UR, that's kind of just how I would express my feelings. And whenever I go through certain experiences, that's what I would do to, make sure my feelings are put down and not just kept inside. So, I mean, for the most part, just because I actually have a platform pre-pandemic, it didn't really change. I would just continue to write stuff down in my notes. So thankfully, it wasn't affected by the pandemic. Just the experience part of it, of being an artist.
Right. But your songs, the inspiration of your songs has nothing to do really with the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But would you say, thankfully, but Bay, would you say that your songs or that you belong to a specific genre of music, or would you say that you're still exploring or in the exploratory stage?
I would definitely say that I'm still exploring, especially, as a new artist who just started putting out music. And, I want to be able to find that bridge between the music that I listen to. So I love Ariana Grande and music that fits my voice. So, I'd want to continue experimenting. Just, I find that sound that I like listening to, and also that I like listening to when it's me who's singing it. So as of now, I'm still hopping around in different genres, as you can see from Crash Landing.
Right. Yeah.
Very different, very different genres going on.
Yeah, but they sing again, they sound very refreshing, at least in my ears. I'm very, very happy to hear them. But how does your fans respond to it? Have you been receiving a lot of emails or messages from them?
I mean, I've had a lot of support since day one, which I'm very, very thankful for, whether it was my family, my friends, people who just came across my music on the radio. So
Right.
I am very happy that they're always very supportive with the music that I put out. I know for a fact that they really, really loved Dahilan just because it was my first Tagalog song. And, they're really pushing for me to,
Yeah.
do more stuff like that since, that's something that they can relate to. But yeah, I'm just very happy that they're very receptive to the music I put out there.
That's amazing. The supportive family would always help, someone in their career, right? Yeah,
Definitely.
but you mentioned about the Dahilan. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But let's talk a bit about Crash Landing, because of course this was your first ever single.
Yes.
Yeah, how did it come about? And I know that we kind of know the inspiration for this, right?
Crash Landing on You, the K drama.
Yeah.
But the funny story behind that was I had actually just started talking to Darwin of Soupstar, which he is
Mm-mm.
my manager now, and at the Eunice of Gracenote. So Kuya Darwin actually came across a video of mine on my mom's profile. She posted a video of me singing Ikaw by Moira. And
Ah,
he said, "Oh, would you like to maybe do a songwriting session or maybe just get a feel of recording music? Just as a pastime because it's the pandemic. Like it's just for fun. You could just experiment, nothing serious." So I met with Eunice over Zoom, and she was talking to me, and she was just asking me, "What kind of music do you like? Like, what are you inspired by? Who are your favorite artists?" And
yeah.
then all of a sudden, we got into this conversation of, "Oh, so what do you do now? Because there's a pandemic, there's not much to do. You just stay at home. Do you watch K dramas? Because K dramas were really blowing up at the time, especially Crash Landing."
Right.
Yeah, that's actually how I've been spending time. That's how I've been bonding with my family. And she said, "Have you watched Crash Landing?" I said, "No, not yet." And I guess the mixture between my influences, my musical influences, plus me not having watched Crash Landing, that's what kind of inspired it. And then a
Yeah.
couple days later, Athenies came back to me with a demo for Crash Landing. And
Mm.
I recorded it, and that ended up.
Being your single, your first ever single. So you weren't part of the writing process.
No, I was not part of the writing process. It
I
was
see.
something that, Athenies wrote especially for me, which I'm very,
Aw.
happy about, very thankful that I get to work with her and Kuya Darwin because they've been a big help in this journey, especially with all the difficulties of the pandemic.
I see. I see. But you finished the series and you liked it.
Yes, I finished. I started and finished the series after the song came out, which is really
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
yeah.
That's interesting. But there were parts that you sang in Korean, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
right?
there were parts that I sang in Korean.
Okay, so I want to ask you about that because I'm not so sure if you're fluent in many languages. I know that you speak in Tagalog, you speak in English, but you also speak Korean and other languages?
So I learned Spanish in school because here in the US we're required to learn
Cool.
another language in high school. And then I started learning Korean before I signed with UR because I was actually supposed to work as a Korean liaison for my job before.
Ooh, interesting.
It just
Okay.
happened to work out that I had known like basic Korean, then we were able to intertwine it with the song, and then it made it, it gave it another layer. So
I see. That's very interesting. Like you mentioned about, a job that you used to have. Is that what it is?
mhm.
Are you still in that job, or are you still interested in having that and doing this as
No,
another?
I
Okay.
actually am not doing that anymore.
Okay.
It was more of like I was supposed to go to Korea to make connections over there, and then the pandemic happened.
Ooh, I see. So the pandemic has affected your career path in a way, in a good way. Yeah,
Yes,
I
definitely.
see. I see. Okay, so at home, do you speak Tagalog or English? How is it like?
Home. When I was younger, I would
Uh-oh.
stay there with my lolo and lola. So they would speak to me in Tagalog, and then my brothers don't really understand, which is weird because I'm the bunso. So I
Mm-mm.
was the one that ended up picking up more of the Tagalog than my brothers did. So whenever like they need something to be translated, if my mom and dad are lecturing them in Tagalog, then they look
Right.
at me and then I have to translate for them.
It's amazing.
So yeah,
Yeah,
but
but you grew up in the States, right?
yes, I was born and raised in California.
Because your Tagalog is amazing. I mean, I'm listening to the song and it doesn't sound forced. You know,
I had to record that I think twice because the
mm,
second time around it was just certain parts just because um it was more of how I sang it, but when it came to the pronunciation, I had to do it a couple times, and at the Eunice Darwin would have to like tell me, oh, you have to say it like this, you have to put more emphasis on this part. Like, I've never heard the word kumakaritas ever,
Kumakaripas, yeah.
ever in my life before this song. So a lot of it had to go into, like me understanding everything that was put into the lyrics. But once I understood it, once they explained it to me, I was like, okay, I completely understand it. I was able to sing it with feeling. So
I see. I see. Because again, it doesn't feel forced, and I feel like you understood every word that you said, that you sang in that song. So let's talk about, okay, the song now, Dahilan. How did this song come about? Did you decide on working on a Tagalog song, or well, were you inspired by another artist for this?
yes, so this song, as well as my other two songs, Nevermind and Crash Landing, they were all put together by Darwin at Eunice.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, I'm very thankful to be able to work with them because, they've been very helpful, and, with all of the difficulties, especially with music production that I can't really do here at home, they've been really helpful with. So they were the ones who actually gave me the song. I did know that they were um, planning on giving me a Tagalog song later on in the future. And then it happened. They gave it to me, and it was a super nice ballad that I heard for the first time, and I was able to actually record it with them. That was the first time I met them, which was last September, October, I want to say. That was the first time I had met them in real life. So I worked
I
with them
see.
for a year, and then I had finally met them, which is crazy.
That's
But
fantastic.
the song came about.
Right, because you did a gig with Gracenote, right? You mentioned
Yes.
earlier. Is that the reason why you came home?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
First live gig.
So that is your first time visiting the Philippines.
No, I actually visited there quite often ever since I was young.
Ah, I see. I see. All right. So it's interesting because I know there's a lot in store for you. Like hearing you, I know you still have a lot to share. I'm sure your notebook is just waiting to be discovered. But anyway, your song, it's quite deep, and I want to ask like a very, not even a very deep question, but it is kind of deep, because I want to know if you truly understand what you sang. So it seems to me that the song is a bit more reflective than conclusive.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't say what you're supposed to do. But if
Mhm.
you're in that situation, when you feel like something's wrong, but you couldn't figure things out with your partner, what would you do in that case?
I think it's really all about communication. Because, I mean, in the song, it says, you don't really know what's going on in the relationship, but you just don't know how to explain why you don't understand what's wrong with the relationship. You just know that, you don't have feelings for the other person anymore. So I feel like if that were to happen, you would, in a healthy situation at least, you would be able to talk to your partner and, let them know, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Maybe something's been going on. Um,
Yeah.
Whether it be on, your side or your partner's side, it's always about communication, understanding. So that was very deep. I feel like
right,
I'm definitely not a therapist of any kind, but
right, right.
that's my take on how I would go about that situation.
Yeah, because again, if you sang that song many times, I'm sure the number of hours you spend recording and reflecting also on the song,
Yeah.
it kind of gives you, those insights, which is very helpful to couples who may be struggling to make their relationship work. And I'm sorry to ask you this; it's a bit personal, but are you in a relationship right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and all right, when things are a bit shaky, or when you're having some problems, do you actually do you not hesitate talking to your partner about what may be a problem?
I think, I used to be very not soft spoken. I just was very I guess introverted isn't the right word, but I wouldn't be able to, tell somebody if I was having negative feelings about them or about a situation. But now I'm getting better at it because I know that if I keep it in, it just ends up building up, or it's just not healthy in any way. So
Yeah,
thankfully my partner and I are working on communication, and it's a learning process. Relationships are not easy, but if you have
yeah.
the right person to be with, they're going to learn with you every step of the way, which is thank.
Oh, I see. I see that's very impressive. I mean, I'm sure you're very young, but you have all these insights.
Oh, young but old at heart.
Yeah, young with all at heart. Okay, so what can you say about? Because I'm sure there are a lot of, I wouldn't say kids. You know, we're not being in your 20s. Some of us, well, some people consider us kids, but some, of course, they treat us like adults, as we should be.
Yeah.
But what about for couples who are young couples who are struggling again to make their relationship work when things get a bit toxic? You know, that's a thing now, and on Twitter, yeah, everywhere. You know, everything.
Especially when you're younger, that's exactly how they call it.
Yeah.
Toxic. I mean, relationship that I could give is well. As I said, it really just depends on the situation. Sometimes it's really one person who has trauma from their childhood or has trauma from the past that they need to work on, that they need to, you know, go back on themselves and kind of reflect, do a lot of that work and work on themselves. But they can always do that in a relationship. So it's always good to just support your partner, whatever they need, whether it's, you know, communicating about a problem, talking it through, making sure that, you know, everything is out in the open. I don't think there's ever such thing as being too honest
Yeah.
with a person, especially with your partner. I feel like that's the person you should be very vulnerable with when it comes to that kind of
Aww.
Yeah, this
see.
definitely just became a whole Dr. Phil session.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's important. Yeah, you gotta choose the right person, of course, to be vulnerable
Exactly.
with. As you
Yeah.
mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And thank you, of course, for sharing that part of you, you know, you being the therapist, you for
Artist and therapist. Therapist
well,
during the day, artist at night.
oh, that's fantastic. You know, maybe you should reconsider that, you know, that could be a career of yours. Yeah. But anyway, Bay, of course, our viewers would love to hear you sing. I'm sure they are already happy, like hearing you're single. Of course, again, you know, from crash landing to Dahilan, that's quite a jump. So would love to hear more of your voice. So we'll play a little game for you, okay? All right, so we call this song association. You probably know about this, okay? Yes. All right, so let's make sure that your Tagalog is good because we'll be having some Tagalog words for you.
It's not hard. I don't know a lot of words that are deep.
Kumakaripas, nakakapagpabagabag.
Oh no, I don't know. I'm also very competitive, so if I can't find anything, I'm gonna like quit.
Well, let's see if you can get a perfect score. We're giving you 5 words, I believe, for this game. So let's start with the first one. It's gonna be I love the sign of the cross. The first word is gonna be in English. So the first word is happy.
Happy. Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
Hey, all right. Okay, that's good. That was easy. How about the word mahal?
Oh my gosh. Wait, is that a mahal in it? But I don't know.
I think there is. I think there is. That's Moira.
Yeah. I don't know the rest. What's that?
Anything else? Any song from another artist, maybe?
I don't even know. Wait.
I'm thinking of a Gracenote song, and I'm not sure if they have.
I have to think if like a song that I know like through and through is Bakit Pa Ba? So I'm trying to think if Mahal is in that song.
Okay, let me ask the team. Did she pass? Do we give her another shot?
I didn't know the lyrics, but I knew the word was in it. I feel like that now.
Okay. Sige. Pwede na yun. Pwede na. Sige. All right. Number 3. Number 3. Let's go. Is heaven.
Heaven. Oh my gosh. I don't know any song with that.
Bryan Adams.
I don't listen to Bryan Adams. Is that bad?
Because you're too young, I guess.
A song called Just Like Heaven.
Okay.
I don't know the lyrics to. Or is that the movie? Oh my my gosh.
All right. Do we count down? 5, 4, 3,
Oh no.
2.
Heaven is a place on earth with you. Oh, tell me all the Lana Del Rey.
All right, there we go. All right.
Pressure, so I can like skim through my head, like the records in my head.
Okay, go ahead and sing it. We'd love to hear you sing. Go ahead, continue.
I know the one that's like, heaven is a place on earth with you. Tell me all the things you wanna do.
All right, that's good. That's good enough. Okay, let's go to the next word. Okay, so far you got all 3. Number 4 is ulan. Ayan.
Oh. Right?
There you go. Yes. I love that song. You should listen to more of his music as well. I feel like
very good. Isn't he also the one that does the other? I only know his song on TikTok, but I'm glad he blew up on TikTok. The one that goes like. That's him.
Yeah. Yes.
There's like choreo to it and everything.
Right. You know, when I first heard you, I thought that you'd do good collaborations with other artists, and Zack would definitely be one of them. So hopefully,
I would love, especially local artists. They would be
right.
So much.
That's true. All right, and our last word for songs association is night.
Night. Oh. Good night, sleep tight, dream away with me tonight. I don't know if you know that song, but it's Lullaby by Latia.
Oh, I see.
First
That's
song that I
interesting.
learned to play on the ukulele. So that's
Oh, yeah. I think I found this interview of yours, and you said that you also taught yourself to play the ukulele, piano as well, I believe.
Piano, I would play it. I would learn to play things by ear at first, and then I started getting into piano lessons later on.
I see. All right, so she definitely passed the song association game. Yes, with flying colors. Congratulations, May. All right, okay. So this was such a fun interview. It's so light, and I wanted it to be light actually for you as well. It's still a difficult time for people around the world. Wherever you may be, it can be challenging to survive and even thrive. During these times, and I'm happy to interview artists like you, who seem to like really aim to like put their music out there to express, not really to impress, but to express and to inspire a lot of people. And it's free therapy. Again.
Music therapy for a lot of people.
Right. So now, of course, we'd love to hear you sing live. Okay, parts of Dahilan, whichever stanza you like best, and of course the chorus. So take it away, Bay.
Okay. Please, I have to play the instrumental in my head. Nawawala ng saysay, mga pangakong sumaplay, di ko rin alam kung bakit nagbago. Kahapon lamang masaya, bakit nga ba tumamlay? Mga ngiti biglang naglaho. Oh, it's gonna be a very long. Ooh, at di ko maipaliwanag. Ooh, kung paano mo maiintindihan.
Ladies and gents, Bay, that was beautiful. I mean, that was kind of sad. That was sad, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, of course, Bay, for being with us today. Now, our viewers, I'm sure they're excited to know where they could find out more about you and your music. So why don't you invite them?
Yeah, of course. So please don't forget to stream my music and, of course, my newest single, Dahilan, and it's available on all digital platforms worldwide, released under Universal Records. And for any and all updates, you can follow me on my social media at Isabella Opasqua and at It's Bay Music on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And of course, thank you so much, Easy Rock, for having me, and Universal Records and Soupstar Music for, giving me this platform in the first place. So thank you so much.
Of course, we're happy to have you. Thank you very much, Bay. We'll be seeing more of you, and we are looking forward to hearing more of your music. But that's about it for us today. Of course, this is Easy Rock Plugged In, and my name is Nick. You could follow me as well at DJ Nick 963 for myself and Easy Rock Manila for this station. Until next time, guys, you keep safe, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.